Dear students, today I will tell you about two literary terms, sonnet and lyric. First, I will tell you about sonnet. Sonnet is a short poem which has 14 lines. Its origin is Italian, and it is the word sonnet is derived from an Italian word sonetto, which means a short poem accompanied by music. It has different forms. Uh, First, it was used by an Italian poet Petrarch, um, and he used in his sonnet. He divided a poem in two parts. The first eight lines were known as octave. The first eight lines is known. The first eight lines are known as octave part, and the last six lines are known as sestet part. And there is a pause after the first eight lines, after the octave part. In the first eight lines, I mean in the octave part, a thought, feeling, mood, or a problem is introduced, and in the last six lines, in the sestet part, the thought, mood, situation, or problem is developed and is brought to the conclusion. So, this form is known as Petrarchan sonnet, and its rhyme scheme is ABBA, ABBA, CDE, CDE. This form was used by Milton, so it is also known as Miltonic sonnet. So the classical form of sonnet is known as Petrarchan sonnet, classical sonnet, and Miltonic sonnet. Uh, it was the sonnet was brought to England by Yatt and Surrey. Yatt used the Petrarchan form of the sonnet, and but Surrey introduced some variations in this form. He introduced three quatrains, which which had four lines in each quatrain and a couplet. The thought in the three quatrains, a thought, situation, feeling, or mood is introduced and developed, and in the couplet, the poem is brought to a conclusion. Um, Surrey used the rhyme scheme AB AB CD CD E F E F G G. Later, Shakespeare used this form. Uh, this form is also known as Shakespearean form, and this form came to be the English type, the the form of English sonnet. So it is also known as English sonnet. So this form is known as um, Shakespearean sonnet and English sonnet. Uh, there is one variation also. Spenser also used sonnet, and but there is some different in his form or structure of the poem. He used three quatrains and a plate form, but but the rhyme scheme of his sonnet is AB AB BC BC CD CD um, and EE. AB AB CD CD AB AB BC BC CD CD or EE. This this uh, in his sonnet, the second line of the first quatrain is the second rhyme of the first quatrain is the first line of the second quatrain, and second line of the second quatrain is the first line of the uh, third quatrain. So the rhyme is intermixed in each stanza, in each quatrain. So these were forms of sonnet. Sonnet is a short poem and it expresses thought or feeling of the poet. It is brief and it is 14 lines, and the poet has to express an idea, thought or feeling within the limit of these 14 lines. So it is a challenge before a poet. Now I will tell you about lyric. Lyric is a short poem, um, but it has a unity of impression. It is spontaneous in character and it expresses the emotions of the poet. It comes directly from the heart of the poet. Uh, there are many forms of sonnet. Uh, many types of there are many types of lyrics. Uh, any poem uh, which is not narrative and dramatic is lyric. A lyric poem has unity of impression, briefness, and and uh, emo- um, and it expresses emotions of the poet. Uh, a lyric a lyric is personal or subjective in character. It expresses the thoughts, emotions, or feelings of the poet. It comes directly from the heart of the poet. It is musical and spontaneous. Uh, the poet does not the poet need not to make an effort to write this poem, because it is an expression of his feelings, and it is spontaneous and comes directly from his heart. Lyric has a lyric expresses one single thought or idea or feeling or situation, so it has unity of impression. It is musical and uh, there are many types of lyrics, such as a song, ode, sonnet. Uh, all these are lyrics. Uh, sonnet is a short poem which has 14 lines and its own rhyme scheme, and it is personal and expresses the thoughts or emotions of the poet. Uh, ode, a song is a uh, rapid in movement, and it is short and and mm, it expresses the thought of the poet. And ode is more longer than a song. It is longer, more elaborate in structure, more grave and elevated. Uh, so um, and s- the a lyric has many forms like sonnet, song, and ode. So a lyric, a li- any poem which expresses the thought or emotion of the poet, which is brief, which is personal, which is musical, and which has unity of impression, is lyric, but it should not be narrative and dramatic. Thank you.